Now would you look a here, look a here.
Wash your hair, wash your hair. If I'm bald after this, I blame you. Cause what?
Nothing beats a jet to holiday.
What the
Why is this just half my head? This is someone's ponytail.
Now, over the years, I have been enemy number one in the team natural community when I say that wash and goes are enemy number one. And I tell y'all that everything works until it doesn't. With your wash and goes, with your 2-strand twist, with your mini braids, and all of those things, I told y'all ass. It's only a matter of time. And this is just phase one. But
Half my head. This is someone's ponytail in my hands.
If this wash and go isn't tea, somebody has to hear it. I tried the whole layering the mousse with the gel and then diffusing and then make sure you get your roots first and then stretching it.
There is a lot of washing. There is not a lot of go.
You saw that, right? Right. Okay, so boom. What the hell am I supposed to do with my hair?
Wash and goes are not the one.
I just wanted a little bit more hang time. I can't tell you how much money I've spent in the last month or so.
And the doctor said that would go away within like 2 years, and it's been 4.
Girl, what the f is you talking about?
My sister, I was once like you. If you try the steps I showed and your wash and go does not give, this is what you're supposed to do. Number 1, get a clarifying shampoo.
Guys, are you ready?
So this is a series of discourse around the whole narrative of what fussy hair should look like underwater. You know, what it should look like after a year of consistent wash and goes.
so this is the thing, and a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this, and I don't care. But see, to me, the main issue and the main problem is Black women went from not doing their hair at all to being obsessed with Team Natural and hair products, and everybody completely skipped that middle part, right? Which is learning how to do your hair in the first place, learning the composition of the human scalp and the hair shaft. Everybody completely skipped over that and went straight to hair products, right? But if you learn the composition of the scalp, if you learn the history, right? Everybody likes to talk about Jerry curl and Gina curl and this and that. The reason that the original Jerry curl was discontinued was because of hydra fatigue, aka moisture overload. Because for once they changed the natural texture of their hair, they needed to always have some type of curl defining cream or some type of product on the hairs. Everybody be like, she don't know what she's talking about. No more wash and goes. Do this instead. That was 4 years ago. 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago. I have been the no washing. This is 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Look at this. 2 years ago, I have been the I hate wash and goes girl. Look at this. 2 years ago. Look, we can keep going. No washing. Why I can't stand twist outs and wash and goes. I have literally been saying it forever. Stop washing the hair like this. Listen.
Which all just try to suggest that at some point, even the tightest fussy coils can become looser and less tight. Now, many fussy girls have pretty much already established that fussy hair can indeed do a wash and go. But the takeaway is that it will not define in the same way the 4A, 3C, and looser textures will define. That reality right there is the one thing causing a trigger to even the best of the best influencers, like this lady Catherine Isaiah, who maintains that the wash and goes stretch your curls over time. However, you know, TikTok, they would always do some digging, and they checked her background only to find out that her hair back in the day, at the beginning stages of her wash and go era, wasn't even the curliest fussy kind of hair to start with. So sometimes, you know, you can't take people's word for face value, and many of these narratives from these creators tends to feel gaslighting for the tighter, curlier, fussy girlies. Okay.
But this is the thing. I don't think that it's gaslighting. You all have been following a bunch of women or young girls. The majority of women who went viral on YouTube for Team Natural content were making the videos in their dorm rooms. the majority of the women, that grown women, think about it. There are some of you that are in your 40s and 50s doing your hair the same way that 19-year-old girls are doing their hair. 20, 25, 26-year-old girls have been doing their hair. And the reason that you're seeing all of their hair pop out, right? I mean, pop off and fall out is because hair weathering has set in, right? You've been following them. Now all of their hair is falling out because of hydro fatigue and hair weathering from your wash and goes. And I just showed you, I have been making videos trying to warn y'all about this for a very long time, because just because somebody gets a camera and starts talking into the camera, that does not mean that they know what they're doing and they know what they're talking about. And like I said, go on my channel and look back for years. I have been making these videos for so long that these are now the videos that I'm going to be making here on my channel, because it takes so much effort for me to set my camera up, do my makeup, get all cute, get a script together for y'all, just for everybody to be like, oh, I'm gonna do what works best for me. So y'all keep doing what works best for y'all. And all of the videos of me warning you, they're still here. You can go watch them and sign up for my courses if you can't figure it out on your own.
She further tries to explain from the angle of porosity, which I personally support, okay, because porosity is a more reliable angle for hair care than the type 4 chart alone. But on the issue of fussy hair and the wash and goes, listen, the discourse just keeps getting more and more complicated. All we mostly see is the before and after results, progress pics from the 4A girlies who didn't even know they were 4A until they started hydrating their hair more often. So of course, beautiful people, we are diving deeper into the 4C girlies who are still waiting for their 4A calls to appear. After years of consistent wash and goes, we're showing you the wash and nose, the confusion, and the existential.
And let me say this. For all of the team naturals, the truth of the matter is, even though they're all shaming other people who decide to get relaxers or decide to wear their hair straight, most women with what y'all like to call 4C hair, I hate the curl typing chart. It was made up by Andre Walker in the early 1990s, who was Oprah Winfrey's hairstylist, and he only made the products, the curl typing chart, so people can buy his product. And the 4s were an afterthought because the majority of Oprah's audience were not Black women. So it was the original chart was 1 through 3, and then later on he added 4s. Black women were an afterthought, but you guys literally make the curl typing chart your entire identity. And the truth of the matter is, the majority of Black women who have what y'all like to classify as 4C hair, tightly coiled hair, it'll never be extremely defined the way that you want it to be. You can make it look defined, but see, you don't love your natural hair. You want the curls to look more like 4A, which y'all see is 4A, or what y'all would see is like maybe like a 3B or 3C. That visual, that's the only thing the curl typing chart is good for. If you want to go into the beauty supply store and you want to match some bundles to your natural curl pattern, oh, my curl pattern looks like a 4C, then you get the weave that looks like 4C. Other than that, it literally means nothing. So the truth of the matter is, it's like team natural, but you don't really like your natural hair, because if you did, you would be content with nothing but shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, and maybe a mousse. But you're not. You have to put on layers of product because you want the curls to look different.
I feel like I have the worst hair sometimes, but I know that's not true. So here's me trying to get water into my low porosity fussy hair, or 5D, whatever you call it. 3 minutes in and it is barely wet. This was about 5 minutes in.
Now, again, y'all not gonna like what I have to say. Instead of learning how to properly do your hair and learning what porosity really means, because remember, nobody cared about porosity. A lot of people probably don't know this. You're really new to my channel, but if we go back in time on YouTube, I was the first person to bring up porosity when it comes to Black hair on YouTube. People not only didn't know what porosity was, people actually were saying on their channels that I made porosity up, right? That it was pseudoscience and that it wasn't really real. But the truth of the matter is, when we're talking about your porosity, it just depends on how easy it is for your hair to absorb water, to absorb products. But don't think that just running the water on top of your head is going to be enough. When you go into the hair salon, we're not just like, oh, putting water on your hair, like, oh, it's taking it so long to absorb moisture. No, to absorb the water for the cuticle to open. No, we're putting our hands in your hair. We're massaging the cuticle, massaging the scalp. It's not as simple. It's just, oh, water's here. Like, y'all.
And when I say I have low porosity hair, this is exactly what I've been talking about. Now 6 to 7 minutes in, and this is what my hair looks like when it's actually starting to get wet. It was taking long, but I decided to just try to enjoy the start of the wash day. The book of Curly Hair chapter 1 says shrinkage is a real thing, and chapter 2 says what you see is actually not what you get. So instead of defined curls, this is what my red hair.
And again, you're not going to want to hear this, but the obsession is not the rest of the world. The obsession is within the mind of Black women. Remember, this is a place for accountable women. If you are easily offended, girl, please get off my channel. Please, I don't want to hear your I have a dream speeches of the channel. Why are you picking on Black women? I'm not picking on anybody. I believe in accountability and gaining wisdom. And the only way you can gain wisdom is to look at your previous experience and pick out the nuggets. So when we're talking about curly hair, stop being so obsessed. Oh, our hair shrinks when it's wet. Some people, when you have curly hair shrinks when it's wet, and straight hair, it stretches when it's wet. So both of us have opposite problems. People with naturally straight hair are so pissed off at their hair whenever it's wet. That's why they'll cut their hair wet, so that way they can get more volume, more weight, so their hair can look more full. But your hair is already full, but all of the things that you do are to elongate the curls or to stretch the hair out. But the reality of the situation is everybody's hair is swollen in its natural state unless their hair is naturally straight. Your hair is going to be swollen when it's wet. There's nothing you can do about it. And this shouldn't be like a hyper, oh, I'm Black, so this is a thing.
Looks like
Wash and goes are evil. I don't care. At least on my hair. And I used to have a good one too. For one, my hair just cannot handle being shrunken, which sucks because I love hairstyles like high puffs and just how much volume my hair has when it's shrunken. But my ends are shredded so easily. I would even stretch the wash and goes with banding, but that didn't seem to help. So now I'm trying to experiment by keeping my hair primarily stretched to see how it helps with length retention. Also, I don't think the gels were the best for my hair. It was partly a technique because I was raking my hair with these hardening gels, and then I would rinse it out and my hair would feel so dry.
so trying to define my fussy hair again. And here's me showing you shrinkage, so you know I actually got my hair wet. I rinsed it with Jackie's Cold Defining Whip, worked it in, and then added the gel. And frankly speaking, I didn't have high hope for this because it literally almost felt like water. But I kept working it in. I used the method I applied the last time. Separated.
Now, I just want y'all to pay attention to something. When we get into this video and everybody's styling their hair, we are only focused on product and rubbing the product in. That is literally all anybody's doing. Nobody is focused on the care, the oxygen flow, their scalp health. All you are going to see is the follicles, the cuticles, and the pores being clogged. That's literally all we're doing.
Smaller sections. At some point, I had to go in with one more round of gel. Yeah, I find the next clip so funny because I actually thought I was doing something. But that was not fast forwarded, so you see I actually wanted it to work. So did I get what I wanted?
Nah.
But it did actually do something. I'll let you be the judge of that.
Girl.
So this was the end result. By the way, the last clip you see is what my hair looked like when I used the braiding gel to try to find the curls.
Hey darling, actually fussy hair can do that. You are right, I started washing with water every day and I can see a big difference. Exactly darling. Water is life for our hair. The more water you put every day, the more your hair thrives. So yeah, water is everything.
No, it's not. This is the thing. We don't have to have these conversations. As a research scientist, I don't say things that you can't test right now. So do me a favor. Go get anything. Go get a piece of wood that has paint on it. Something that's been painted over, a piece of wood that's been painted over it. And I want you to take the same spray bottle that you're going to spray on your hair every day, and I want you to spray it on that piece of wood every single day. And then at the end of that month, I want you to tell me what that wood looks like. Does it look healthier, or is it going to look eroded? And you're also going to see bacteria formation on top of the wood. Now, I think we can all agree that your hair is a way, way weaker fiber than the wood. So what makes you think that putting water on your hair every single day is going to do anything? If you water a plant every day, what's going to happen? The roots are going to rot. It's not true. When your hair gets hydration from the water that you drink.
Guys, when I tell you that the products that you use in your hair and the way that you style it can change the way your curls look, I'm not joking. Like, it can't change your curl pattern because you can't change your curl pattern unless you like chemically alter it. But the way that you style it can change how they look to an extent. Obviously, you need to think about it in the context of what your hair can do, but it can. So the girl from this video does, and you're not going to believe me, she does have 4B and 4C hair. So when I was styling it, around her sides, underneath and around the back, not the back, the sides mainly and towards the back, but the back was a lot looser than the sides. Like all around her front and all underneath was 4C. So those 4C parts didn't clump as well. But you can't see those because they're covered up by the rest of her hair, which is 4B. And people are going to say that that's not 4B either and say, oh, how is this one step away from 4C? But there, her curls are elongated. So I've smoothed in a very like thick and heavy product, which has weighed it down and like kind of like frozen it in place, if that makes sense.
I'm a Capricorn, so I'm big-hearted. So if I feel like somebody,
I get so sick of black people with this zodiac
I would say that I used to have a love-hate relationship with wash and goes because I like the idea of them, but now I just have a hate relationship with them. I will say my reason for doing wash and goes is mostly personal, but I do have actual reasons why I don't think that they're good long-term. And there are going to be some natural hairstylists who disagree with me, but I personally think that the maintenance of a wash and go is going to lead you to having to do way more manipulation on your hair than basically any other hairstyle that you could do, like twist outs, braids, bantu knots. The list goes on.
So I tried to do a wash and go on my 4C hair for the first time because I was seeing all of these videos on my timeline.
And I've seen her video already, but again, I just want you to hear yourselves. Like, I'm going to leave the video in the description box below so you can watch it yourself, so you can see the face of the person who made up the curl typing chart. But it's one of the most exhausting things that I see online because everybody but Black women know where the curl typing chart came from. But Black women are like, I have 4C hair. It's like, hi, my name's Cynthia and I have 4C hair. It's like, why have y'all made this a part of your identity? And it hasn't served you at all.
Of people with type 4 hair achieving these really nice wash and goes. So I'm like, mine is type 4 too. Like, it's not that different. I used the mousse. I did it on the wet hair. I did the shingling. I went through it. Just put it in a loose pineapple to go to sleep, and then you can just shake it out in the morning. Oh, is that so? I shook it. Where'd it go? All you need is a pick. You are a liar.
People saying that day 2 wash and goes, you just get out of bed and shake your head. You guys really fooled me on this one.
I also feel like the steps that it takes me.
And sorry, I keep interrupting it, but it really it winds my gears. Why do Black women want the easiest, shortest way? Why do you think people just get up in the morning, shake their head and go? Who told y'all that? Please show me what woman walking around every day of her life gets up, just shakes her head and walks out of the house. Who? I've been living in Vegas since I was 16 years old. Back and forth from Vegas to Detroit, but here since I was 16 years old. Every friend that I had either washed their hair every day and blow dried it before school or every 2 days, like every 2 to 3 days. They're shampooing their hair, blow drying it right before they go to school. This is from the time they was a little girl. since they were old enough to be able to operate the round brush. So I'm trying to figure out, why do black women think like you could just wash your hair, get up, walk out of the house, and it's done? Nobody else does that. Other races of women, if they just get up, spray some leave-in conditioner, and walk outside, their hair is frizzy by the end of the day, and they have hydro fatigue and breakage too. Y'all want to know why y'all ends are ate up? You have hydro fatigue. Y'all don't comb y'all hair. Y'all just rubbing products into it. You don't think that's breaking your hair while your hair is weakest?
To do a wash and go require a lot more brushing and combing and manipulating my hair, and thus I end up with more breakage at the end of a wash and go than any other style. And I personally, I'm low porosity, so it is very hard for me to get moisture into my hair. And with a wash and go, typically gels and mousse aren't enough.
4C hair can absolutely do a wash and go. You've probably heard that it can't. It's for the looser curl.
And I love y'all, but please stop saying that. I have low porosity hair, so it's hard for my hair to absorb. No, it's not. You just have to have a different process. So you're not using the same products as everybody else. You have low porosity hair. You want to use products with additives that are going to cause the cuticles and the follicles to open, right? Because it's harder for them to open. So you're going to use products with additives like rosemary, eucalyptus, peppermint. Those all encourage the cuticle to open. Y'all, it's not that difficult. I had so many clients with low porosity hair, and their hair was not harder for me to do than my clients with high porosity hair. Stop saying that.
But as a curl specialist, I would argue that wash and go can be one of the best styles for 4C hair. Wash and goes can actually help. Let's say you have maybe low porosity hair and your hair is not absorbing enough moisture. Doing wash and goes for a set amount of time, let's say a few months, that can train your hair to accept more moisture, because this is a style that involves adding so much water like we just saw. So
oh my, do you see what I mean? This is, listen to this. And this is why I can't stand natural hairstylists, and I don't care. At this point, I've been the girl that everybody got a problem with, so keep it up. The reason that natural hairstylists get on my nerves is because they focus on hair products, not science. So make this shit make sense. I'm gonna rewind what she just said, but listen to this. Make this make sense. So low porosity hair has a hair shaft that is a cuticle that's tighter, right? It's nothing wrong with the cuticle. The layers are just a little more tightly compacted. That's all. So the last thing you want to do to low porosity hair is put a cream, a butter, or a gel on it, because creams, butters, and gels are polymers that put a coating on top of the hair shaft. So please explain to me how doing a wash and go repeatedly, putting layers and layers of polymers on top of the hair shaft is going to be something that encourages the cuticle to open faster. Do you see what I mean? Like, that y'all literally just say stuff out the side of y'all neck because it sounds good. And if somebody be like, oh, her curls are pretty, y'all just take it as Bible verse, and that makes no sense. Scientifically, that makes no sense. How do you encourage a cuticle to open faster? By leaving the hair wet longer and layering it with products. Like, I'm so sick of y'all.
And I personally, I'm low porosity, so it is very hard for me to get moisture into my hair. And with a wash and go, typically gels and mousse aren't enough.
4C hair can absolutely do a wash and go. You've probably heard that it can't, and it's for the looser curls. But as a curl specialist, I would argue that wash and go can be one of the best styles for 4C hair. Wash and goes can actually help. Let's say you have maybe low porosity hair and your hair is not absorbing enough moisture. Doing wash and goes for a set amount of time, let's say a few months, that can train your hair to accept more moisture, because this is a style that involves adding so much water like we just saw. So once you start shampooing your hair more frequently on a weekly basis is what I would recommend, every 7 to 10 days, you should start to see your hair accepting that moisture more, especially when you're using products like Miche that have a lot of plant humectants in there. We got our aloe vera, our chamomile, our marshmallow root, our slippery elm. These are all ingredients that attract more moisture to the hair and hold it in as well. So 4C hair can do wash and goes if you're using products that are not.
Again, the video is linked in the description box below. But again, A lot of natural stylists do not focus on the science, they focus on product application. There is a difference between hydration and moisture. Your hair gets the hydration from two places, from the water that you drink and from the environment. Listen, from the water that you drink and from the environment. To moisturize is to seal. So to moisturize, replace the word moisturize with hold. So you're holding on to the hydration. You don't get moisture from an outside source. And your body has a natural moisturizer built into it, and it's called sebum. And sebum is not an oil, but a wax. And I want you to tell me the last time you saw a wax be able to penetrate or to cover a wet surface or a surface covered with water-based products. That literally makes no sense. And the passion in my voice is because, like I just showed y'all, I have literally been saying these things for over a decade now. And it is absolutely ridiculous to hear women just randomly throwing these things. Oh, yeah, because the more products you add, the more free. The only thing that I agree with that came out of her mouth is washing your hair, shampooing your hair more frequently. The more you shampoo your hair, the cleaner the scalp is and the easier the sebum flows from the pore down the hair shaft if you comb it, but it never touches your hair shaft because you have creams and all types of things on the hair.
Not super heavy, and if you make sure you're getting your maintenance trims on time. And it's not like we're just, training our hair or training our curls, but healthy hair, you're going to see a lot of curl before you've even styled the hair based off of how you're.
I don't care what nobody's saying. Y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this. I don't care. Team Natural Stylists, y'all be playing in hair. Y'all be going to these girls, they be shampooing your hair. They put a bunch of products and shit in your hair, and then they just be playing in your hair with their hands. They just be separating curls, just playing with it. They be playing in y'all goddamn hair. I don't care what nobody say. My 14-year-old daughter could do that. That is insane.
Time and some grace, and remember that the condition of your hair directly impacts the results that you're going to see.
All right. Okay, so boom. What the hell am I supposed to do with my hair? Genuinely, truly, natural hair TikTok makes me want to just shave my head and go bald again, like I did, almost 7 years ago. Half the time, wash and goes grew my hair. Wash and goes destroy your hair. Too much water, not enough water. Get a thicker conditioner, get a lighter conditioner. Mousse is the way to go. Get gels, get botanical gels, get this.
What about this? Have you paid attention to the fact that Black women are the only women who don't do their hair the way that they mamas and them used to do it? Y'all the only ones that's trying to reinvent the wheel. Our grandmothers and our aunties had it figured out. They did. I'll leave the video link in the description box below. This woman is over 70 years old. All of her hair is on her head. Our grandmothers were doing blowouts. All of our grandmas did not have relaxers. They didn't. They were doing blowouts, flat irons, or roller sets. And then after they got their rollers in, they got their hair styled at the salon. And sometimes they would bring their own rollers to the shop so that they didn't have to take the rollers out until they got home. And then they would sleep in their rollers. And then take their rollers out in the morning whenever they're going somewhere, comb their hair, go on about their day, and put the rollers back in before they went to bed. Why? The issue is, the reason that Black hair is overcomplicated to y'all is because y'all have made all of the things that you actually use as a human being to do your hair, you've demonized all of those things. So yeah, it feels impossible because how do I comb my hair? How do I brush it? Combs and brushes are bad. How do I blow dry it? I have to use a $500 blow dryer. I can't use a $19.99 blow dryer. I can't use a $20 blow dryer. I got to spend $500 on a blow dryer. It's so expensive. Oh, no, it's not. You can get a paddle brush for a couple of dollars. You can get a $19.99 blow dryer. You can get some leave-in conditioner, blow dry your hair, get a ceramic iron because I believe that titanium is for professionals. So get a ceramic flat iron your hair, or get a same exact thing, shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, get you some foam wrap, give yourself a roller set, a perm rod set, a flexi rod set. There are so many different things you can do, but you just want to be able to get up and shake your head and go.
Epigel, this grows your hair. Braids, I'm hearing braids, they can't grow your hair. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing braids. Let me wear my natural hair out. Because if I don't wear my natural hair out, then I hate my natural hair. You actually can't wear your natural hair in its natural curly state in a wash and go. So you have to manipulate your curl pattern with twist out and braid outs. But you can't do too much of those as well, or else you won't be retaining moisture. But you can have two. You see how we're overcomplicating this? And that's what makes people not want to go natural. Just your 8:30 a.m. morning thought.
But see, you're natural if the hair is growing out of your scalp. Once again, you guys have think about it. The way that women do their hair now it sounds like a chaotic mind of like a 2-year-old. I want to do this, but I want to do this. Oh no, I want to do this, and I put this on it. But then if you do this, you got to do this. Oh my God, but if you do this, you got to do this. But if you do this, oh my God. Hair is not complicated. Y'all have overcomplicated because y'all have made the words of little girls or the words of girls that have been doing hair in their dorm rooms. You've made that Bible verse, and it makes no sense because it's chaotic and it has no foundation. However, the people who've been following the foundations that were laid by our aunties and our grandmothers and our mothers, the good ones, they're fine. There is a subset of Black women that I service. I service people publicly. There's nowhere you can go online and book me. It's private. So I can avoid things and conversations like this. And the women that book me, they do not have a problem with these things. Their patterns are generational. Generationally, they shampoo their hair weekly, either blow dry it or roller set it. It's so simple. So simple.
Cause what?
The reason why most wash and go advice does not work for people with tight curls is because it's not tailored to the problems and experiences of people with tight curls. The truth is, many people with tight curls are coming from a background where they're washing their hair infrequently, they're keeping their hair in very high friction styles for a long time, they're trimming infrequently, and they don't like clarifying.
Guys, are you ready?
This isn't the baseline of the average influencer whose wash and go routine that you may be trying to copy. That's why it doesn't work for you. Not because your hair is inherently incompatible with wash and goes, but because your foundation isn't there yet. And sure, you can go out and buy the products that they're using and watch their tutorial over 100 times, but that will only get you 20% of the way there, because they have something that you don't. A hydrated, healthy foundation built upon their skills and knowledge of their hair. You can't skip 80% of the work and expect to get 100% of the result.
Right. Everyone's chasing definition, but let's talk about what it's actually doing to your hair in the long run. Wash and goes mean tangles. Tangles mean detangling. Detangling means hair is coming out, not shed, pulled.
Not only is it coming out, being shed, it's shedding and being pulled. YouTube taught you that you have to do it on wet hair, and your hair is weakest when it's wet. That's why y'all have globs of hair in the brush. Everything that y'all do is wrong. Almost everything that you do is wrong. And there's going to be somebody, why are you always attacking Black women? Oh, because this is an accountability channel. I'm not doing that. For over a decade, I've been on here giving you step-by-step tutorials on what to do, what not to do, and all of the things. No, we're not doing that no more. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Doing this daily is stress on already fragile type 4 strands. So a lot of wash and goes rely heavily on gel. Their sole purpose is hold, not hydration.
Quick PSA, just because your wash and go looks more like an afro than a super defined wash and go, that does not mean it's a fail. You literally just have afro hair. Of course it's gonna look like an afro, you have afro hair. Like whenever I do a wash and go, it'll lay flat for like 2 seconds, but then when any kind of humidity gets to it, it literally just turns into this. Sometimes I feel like social media has put out the standard that if your hair isn't flat or like super laid down, that it's a bad wash and go. Your hair just may not have the ability to do that, and that's perfectly fine. Moral of the story, don't compare your Afro hair to someone else's. It's fine, it's just the way it is.
You're not actually washing.
And I love y'all, but that's the only thing that bugs me because it's like, oh, social media made us feel like this. Social media did. That's BS. It's not social media. You know how I know? Because I read my comments. And it's not social media, it's other Black women that shame other Black women if they decide that they don't want to wear their hair natural, if they don't want to do a ponytail, if they don't want to do a top knot bun, if they don't want to do a wash and go, if they don't want to do braids, if they don't want to do mini twists, if they don't want to do what other Black women view as Black hairstyles, then there's an issue or a problem. The outside world is not shaming Black women the way that Black women shame other Black women. I'm sorry. Love you, but no.
And going, are you? You're detangling, you're washing, then you're moisturizing, then you're defining, and you've got to get the hairdryer out, you're diffusing, you're stretching it. I'm too much of a lazy girl for all of that. I'm not saying never do wash and goes, but if growth and healthy hair is your goal, you don't want it to be your main style. Now, maybe I'm missing something here. If you have a fun wash and go routine that I need to try that counteracts all of the problems I raised above, please let me know.
How do you do wash and goes with fine strands? You don't. Not if you want to retain length, not if you want to grow your hair out, not if you don't want to deal with tangly ass hair every single day. Just to make sure I'm still right about this, after years of not doing wash and goes because I had locks, I just did one. Wash and go? I don't know her. We haven't met until I got introduced to Curl Mix's Masters collection. Curl Mix is a Black owned and operated company here to help us master our curls in just 21 days.
Then why every time I pick up something, it has to be the most expensive? I go to any...
Once again, we have yet to say anything about the science of hair. Every single time a woman with curly hair gets ready to talk about hair care, she goes to a brand new hair product. It's always about hair products. This has never been about hair care. Never. Because if you go to somebody who really focuses on the science of hair, they're going to tell you not to do wash and goes, not to do twist outs. Yeah.
Shop, even a supermarket, I could pick up the most expensive bread.
Nobody talks about how expensive it is. I can't tell you how much money I've spent in the last month or so in just trying to buy different types of clarifying shampoo, hydration shampoo, like deep conditioning hydration. Like, damn. I literally just spent money on the LCO method products. I'm tired. I'm gonna still do it though, but damn.
They say wash and goes is not a protective style, but my hair growth says otherwise. When I big chopped my hair in 2018, wash and goes became my favorite style, specifically the half up and half down. In my routine, I prioritize sealing and moisture using the LCO method, using leave-ins and curling creams that are deeply penetrating and moisturizing. And as you can see, you cannot deny the growth. Wash and goes are a protective style as long as you initially moisturize, style it.
This is the thing. The definition of the word protective is to create a barrier. Just because you like a style does not make it protective. There is nothing protective about a wash and go. There's nothing protective about it. And everything works until it doesn't. This is the thing. Your hair is growing so fast because your scalp is clean. Your hair is going to grow either way. Stop saying, oh, this is a style is making my hair grow. Your hair growth happens in your gut. Your hair growth happens in your stomach. So your hairstyling practices have nothing to do with your hair growth, but retention. And just because your hair is long doesn't mean that it's healthy. But to say that braids, to say that any style whatsoever grows your hair makes no sense whatsoever, because hair growth happens in your gut. So how can something that you're doing on the external change or increase the rate in which your hair is growing? No, there's a difference between growth and retention. Y'all need to learn the difference. There's nothing about a wash and go that grows your hair. The wash part, the shampooing part, That's the part.
To maintain it properly. That goes for any type of protective style. Protective styles were not created for neglecting your hair.
Y'all said, Angel, wash your hair, wash your hair. If I'm bald after this, I blame you.
Cause what? Nothing beats a jet to holiday.
What the
Why is this just half my head? This is someone's ponytail.
In my hair journey, I've had to figure out what a wash and go means for like my hair type and texture, and I've realized it's different than like some of the videos I've watched and tried to emulate. So for me, a wash and go is adding leave-in conditioner, maybe a styling cream, maybe not, and using like the coiling tennis racket design to like go in and add tiny coils. So that's what I do when I don't really feel like giving my hair a lot of time and attention. I've tried a lot of different brushes. They don't necessarily work on this texture at this length. I tried gel to foam mousses. They didn't really do anything. I've tried gels and they work well, but I pick at my coils and then the gels become flaky. So like, this is me discovering that this is what a wash and go looks like for my hair type and texture.
I don't have nothing to say. If this is what y'all want to do all the time in y'all spare time, then y'all have at it. But is this some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life?
Wash and go looks like on short 4C hair. It's a bit dry. I used only one product. I'm gonna refresh it with you. I still think it's going pretty strong.
And of course, y'all put water. Y'all want to be plant so bad.
Grab some mousse and define any pieces at the front.
God. I'm about to be done. I'm getting it.
I am not a wash and go master, but I personally really like how my wash and goes come out because I just keep things simple. I use one product usually. It's either the Inner Sense I Create Hold Gel or this apparently because I just used this for the first time over the weekend. I really like this. I like the hold. I just like how it keeps everything in place for up to a week. I will be washing my hair on day 7.
Once again, nobody said anything about hair care the whole time. The Team Natural community is the team hair product community. There's nothing natural about it. It's literally product focused. Everything is about hair products.
But it's still going strong.
4C shrinkage is the ghetto. It's like no matter how defined I get my curls, you can't see them because they shrivel back up to my scalp. It's annoying. So I took that blow dryer to them roots. Boom. Problem solved. Stop playing with me. You gonna get this little bitty length I got.
Wearing your hair in a shrunken state for a prolonged amount of time isn't as healthy for your...
Unfortunately, friend, this information that you're sharing is not correct. It's not correct. So we can actually retain length in a wash and go just as well as we can retain length in a stretched state or a twist out or a braid out or a rod set or even braids.
And like, oh, you need to wash your hair 2 times a week. That kind of do make sense. Like when y'all be saying, so unfortunately this creator.
This is such a stressful conversation. We about to be done in a minute because like when I say my eyebrows hurt from watching this, it do. And I stood behind a chair for over a decade, and I got 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube initially over a decade ago from doing the hair of women who think that wearing their hair in a natural state for 2-3 years is best and they able to retain so much length. Just because it's long does not mean that it's healthy. I built my name and my reputation being the girl that fixes what Team Natural think they did after years. Women would come sit in my chair after being Team Natural for like 10 years. They be, I ain't put heat in my hair in 10 years. And I don't use combs and brushes, and then I flat iron their hair and I can see through to their soul. Oh my God.
Is wrong, and so I will bite this bait, right? And so there's multiple reasons why, and so I'm going to prove that in this video. Now, disclaimer, I'm not saying that you should not wash your hair once a week. Please do what's best for you. I'm not saying that washing your hair is bad. I mean, washing your hair weekly is bad. That's not what I'm saying. But this is why the generalization of Afro textured hair, just getting on the internet and saying whatever, is so annoying, especially when y'all don't consider foresty hair tightly textured hair. So the reason why I hate that this creator has gotten so many likes and reposts and comments is because you'll notice that a lot of these people that are supporting this are people who do wash and goes, people who have typically looser textured hair. And I hate how he put 4C hair, because if you know anything about 4C hair, actually, like literally, like not even like just being funny, but literally, you will understand that because 4C hair is so tightly textured, wash and goes do not benefit it for the long run if you talk about health. If you're talking about just simply a style, okay, whatever. But if you're talking about retaining length, like retaining like health on top of, having 4C hair, wash and goes are not going to be beneficial because your hair will coil around itself. A lot of y'all were in my comments talking about you don't like your natural hair because, if you took the time to actually detangle it.
Oh, he talking that good stuff. He talking that good stuff. He making my pressure go down. He talking that good stuff.
Every 7 days, you wouldn't have no issue. What's not getting through your head that my hair wraps around itself, not other strands. Therefore, no amount of detangling will get rid of a single strand knot unless I can, unknot it or I cut it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of y'all forgetting that y'all applying all these extra drying products like gel and mousse and all this extra stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then leaving y'all hair in a shrunken state. So of course it's going to dry out and get undefined and lose water. Then wondering why you got to wash your hair once a week, or why you're not retaining length. I don't apply any products to my hair besides a liquid moisturizer and a butter to seal that in. And I can go weeks without washing my hair because I don't have product buildup, because I don't put product in my hair. How can it be product buildup if there's no product? But because y'all don't listen to me, I'm a clip in a licensed cosmetologist that basically is literally going over exactly what I'm saying. And the constant stretching to comb, letting my hair shrink up, then pulling back out to comb, and all that roughness, all that detangling it, then drying it out just to put moisture back in when it was never dry, all that does not benefit having 4C hair. Like, that's why washing weekly does not work for me. I receive too much breakage.
My fellow nerds, this is my hair today. It is done. It is styled and ready to go. I will not be brainwashed today.
Girl, what the f*** is you talking about? Girl, what the f*** is you talking about? Girl, what the
I wish I knew these things when I first started doing my wash and goes, but I'm gonna tell you so you don't have to go through them. Your hair is flaking because you use too much products or they do not mix well together. You probably have multiple curl patterns, so you might have to use different curling techniques to define your curls on different parts of your head. Water is key for your wash and go, but using too much water and not enough product will result in a frizzy wash and go. But you'll get it right once you keep practicing. Using a hooded dryer instead of air drying will always give you better results.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
4C hair. No, I don't do wash and goes unless I want to look like Jackson.
All right. So I hope that this conversation is one that didn't make you too offended. This was a longer one, but it does become stressful in the hair industry to constantly be going back and forth, having the same conversations over and over and over and over and over again. But the reality of the situation is wash and goes, air drying, layering product after product after product, things like the lock method, using greases, oils, butters, gels, and all of the things on your hair. It does way more harm than good. If you stuck around to this point of the video, make sure you do me a favor and hype this video, and make sure that if you haven't done so already, you go ahead and check out the books that we have here on Amazon. We have the 7-day challenge journal as well as the 369 method manifestation journal. Listen, for the outer and the inner, I got you covered. So again, make sure you check the link in the description box below to check out my Amazon store, and thank you for chilling in the apothecary with me.